Good morning. It's humbling to be in front of all of you today. You might sense a bit of nervousness in me. That is natural because, as Brian said, Java isn't just technology. It's not just a language. It's not just a platform. It's a people. It's a coming together of shared minds to share knowledge. And I want to take you on a bit of a journey. But before I do that, I want to thank Chander for his talk. He focused on community in many ways. He talked about mentorships and being a mentor and helping others. And that's what I want to fundamentally build on. So Chander, I hope I do you value in terms of extending your story. But before we do that, we started today talking about 20 years of JFall. And I've been to many of these events. I've been invited to talk about community and inspiration and coming together and sharing. And you don't reach 20 years without careful nurturing and caring. You don't. And I just want to tip my hat to all of the NLJUG members, the board, and the conference organizers, because you have created something extremely unique that stands out. I remember being on this stage several years ago, and I said, this is the best 3-day conference, Java conference, that happens in one day. And I now know that Brian and others continue to use that tagline, but I need to change that. This is the best Java conference in Europe. And now you might say, how do you have that perspective? It's because I've lived my life in the community. You know, I'm not afraid to shame to say this. My Java journey started in 1996, as you can probably tell by the gray hair. And what I've noticed is things that have value are things that have been nurtured and grown. But we're in a very fundamental, different time right now in software development. Move fast and break things. Move fast and break things goes against everything. Everything that I was taught as a child, everything that I was taught in the university, everything that I continue to learn in my job. You know, going fast is very exciting, but velocity isn't always the solution. And breaking things, let's just hone in on that little piece for a moment. Breaking things is hurtful. Breaking things creates challenges and it creates pain. And it also fundamentally takes away the human dimension in what we do in our honored profession. And I fundamentally have embraced something much more meaningful to me. This is my father. Yeah, that's little Shar way up there. 1970, I was 1 year old. But his mantra is, move thoughtfully and build things. Move thoughtfully doesn't mean you go fast or you go slow. It means you think before proceeding. We have to analyze what it is that we're doing. Building things doesn't mean you don't break things. It means you're trying to minimize the impact of when a break happens and the impact that has on what we do. Let's look at it this way. Innovation isn't just innovation alone just because something is unique. Innovation has to have meaning. It has to help. If innovation doesn't help and it's hurtful, is it truly innovation? And that's why I've invested my entire career in you, the people. Java doesn't exist because Sun created it, Oracle continues to nurture it. It's because of the people. We put the people first and the technology second. We've embraced that. But to do that, we need to have a guiding principle. And Chander said it perfectly. Find a mentor, be a mentor. My mantra is find a Sherpa and be a Sherpa. And what does that mean? It means you're not doing the work for someone else. You're helping them reach their summit. You're helping them through their problems. You're helping them better understand what they can be. And so here at Oracle, on the Java team, we realized as we engineered the language and the platform forward, we need to ensure we're also investing in all of you. We need to create pathways for you to learn, to upskill. We need to create programs that allow you to share our knowledge, share our best practices, share our use cases, share our fears, our uncertainties, our doubts. So we know we're not the only one that have those feelings. And trust me, a day doesn't go by where I don't have those situations. I turn to my colleagues, my peers, but I also turn to you. It's not just about me trying to be a Sherpa for you. You collectively are a Sherpa for us. And then finally, contribute. Because we don't advance Java in isolation. Yes, we make some great decisions on the Java team in terms of the direction, in terms of the future, where we're taking the platform, how we're simplifying the language to make it more readable, writable, and maintainable, taking that verbosity down. But we don't always have the answers. It takes your contributions to create that guiding path so we have a North Star to go to. So where did this all start? You know, for me, back in '96, when I was just introduced to this first language that had 4 letters, and I didn't know that it wasn't just a cup of coffee, it's because of foundational programs like these that have taken root. And we have an obligation. We on the Java team have a fundamental obligation to continue to water these roots so the tree stays strong. And one of those programs, to me, that's very unique, because JFall doesn't just happen. It's because of the Netherlands Java User Group that this is possible, is the Java User Group program. With almost 400 across the world, there isn't a place probably on the planet, probably except Antarctica. I would love to see someone start a user group there. But user groups fundamentally are the place for that learning, that sharing, and that contributing. And so as we celebrate 20 years of JFall, there's a very unique 20-year anniversary also coming up next year. And I would like to ask, I think he's here, from all the way from the Atlanta Java User Group, Pratik Patel, if you could please come and join me on the stage.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you, Shar.
Wait, before you start,
yes.
I thought you were going to dance on stage.
Oh, no, no. I'm not dancing today.
Dance? Okay.
No, not today.
So, you know, as I said, Pratik is one of the co-founders and leaders of the Atlanta JUG. And in equal measure here in the Netherlands, you have JFall. We have, in my opinion, the best Java conference in North America in Atlanta. And here's one of the founding fathers.
Thank you, Shar. So my name is Pratik Patel. I'm the president of the Atlanta Java User Group and a developer advocate at Azul Systems. And like Shar was saying, the Atlanta JUG is very heavily community focused. We partner with lots of people in our local and regional community in the Southeast and all over North America. And we built up this event called DevNexus, which is celebrating its 20th year in 2024. So we're actually very closely tracking the NL JUG here. And I think Brian said earlier that NLJUG is the best one-day conference in the world. We think DevNexus is the best 2-day conference in the world, okay? But as part of DevNexus, one of the things that we do that's very community-focused is we run something called the JUG Leaders Summit the day before DevNexus starts. And we have 75 to 100 JUG leaders from around the world come to the event. We give them all free tickets. We help them to get there and all those kinds of things. And we do it so that we can all share ideas and figure out how we as a community can move Java forward. So I invite you to come visit us in April. The weather is beautiful. I promise you it won't be cold and rainy like here. So, but this is my first time at NLJUG, and this is, as Brian said, one of the best events that I've been to in a long time. So thank you for having me. I'll turn it back over to Shar.
Pratik, I appreciate you coming. Thank you. So you might be saying, Shar, this is a JFall conference. He's talking about DevNexus. And that's the beauty of community. It's not a competition. We continue to try to make it a competition, and we need to shy away from that. Community is about collaboration and sharing and helping. And I love the partnership that I see between Java user groups over the years in terms of how they connect, how they share best ideas and best practices. And what is happening here locally at the NL Jug is also being transferred in terms of knowledge and best practices to jugs all around the world, just like the Atlanta user group. And just like that, the Atlanta user group also shares their knowledge with the user group program. You fundamentally, all of you, have a place and a family no matter where you go. So I encourage you to take a look at all of the Java user groups that are around the world and connect. We connect locally, but we also need to connect globally. We also have to think about the formats in terms of how we connect. You know, I'm always advocating to be in person because this is how we start a relationship. You start it in the physical, one-on-one, sharing, talking to the person next to you who you don't even know sometimes, and introducing yourself. It has to fundamentally happen in person. But we extend that digitally, and let's be honest, with over 10 million Java developers around the world, you all have your preferences in terms of how you want to stay connected, how you want information to be streamed with you. And as the stewards of Java, we need to fundamentally understand that. And so we've created an entire digital platform of ways for you to learn, both in short form and long form. Granted, we're not on TikTok yet. I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. But maybe we'll be there in the future. But if you need digital resources, I encourage you to look at our YouTube channel. It is curated with some of the best content that is out there to expand your knowledge. Now, we also have created portals for you to get your information. Just a few years ago, not many people need to have known this, and we need to continue to drumbeat this, and I need to do it much more often, is dev.java, a single place for you to get information in terms of learning and with community. Should be an easy URL to remember, not too challenging. We also have inside.java. Inside.java is an aggregation of all of the publications coming from the Java team. And I get it. You know, we have our day jobs, we have to put our blinders on, we have to get the task done. But to advance the technology, to advance you, we have to rise up and look beyond that sometimes. And so when you have the opportunity, I'd encourage you to look at both of these portals. Something new that we've also introduced is it's not just the voice of Oracle and the Java team. It's your experiences, it's your talents. And so recently, just this past, with the Java 21 release in September, we're now taking community contributions to dev.java. This is your opportunity to share your knowledge beyond your local user group so you can be published through some of the most active Java programs on the planet. And let's not forget that next generation. Also new that what we launched in September is the Java Playground. Now, this is great for students who are just getting started with Java, so they can do live coding online through their browser at dev.java. But this is also an opportunity for all of you, regardless if you've been using Java for 1 year or 5 years, 20 years, 28 years. We're also building into this code samples from some of the new Java features. For example, virtual threads, which was just released in Java 21, we will have code samples there so you can actually see what it looks like before you run it. And this is a way to actually upskill all of yourselves. Now, I started by saying that it's about people first. It absolutely is. I mean, I look at this room, I see some familiar faces. It's good to see the familiar faces. I also see a lot of new faces. And that's also important. We need to keep expanding the circle and make it as inclusive as we can, because that's what Java fundamentally is about. It's about you. We say it's a language and a platform, but it's a community and it's about people. We need to embrace that. And we, on the Java team at Oracle, want to say a special thank you to the Netherlands Java user group. I was hoping if I could get Bert and, is Brian still here? Could I have you both join me on stage? Wait, I thought you were going to dance across the stage.
No, you're
not dancing.
No.
Okay, so as I said, 20 years doesn't happen overnight. It comes through caring and nurturing, And on behalf of the Java team, the big reveal.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
We would like to say thank you for all of your collective contributions that you've done, not just for JFall, but for the entire Java ecosystem, because if it wasn't for your energy and your passion, we wouldn't be moving Java forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great, man. Thank you very much.
So the funny thing is, if anything happens now with the video or the screen, you can see Bert running because he's sitting in the tech room there.
Hopefully something goes wrong now.
Oh, thanks. This is
So-
this is
This is
awesome.
great.
And obviously,
Please-
thanks also to you, because without you, we'd just be standing in front of an empty room.
Please don't drop that.
No, I'm on.
But with that, we have a fantastic conference. They've built a great program for you. The only thing I would ask as you go to the sessions and learn more is make sure you introduce yourself to someone you have not met before. It's comforting to know people that you do know, but reach across the aisle. Introduce yourself to someone that you just want to say hello to, and start that connection now, because I can tell you something very important. That connection may sprout into something like this, a relationship that now has lasted almost 15 years. So I'm very humbled. Thank you for having me again this year, and congratulations to a fantastic #1 Java conference in Europe.